very warm welcome to GS World's special current affairs program, The Current Affairs Show. I am Pragya Vatsal Mishra and I am here with all the highlights of the week. Let us take a quick look at the headlines. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has published a draft notification inviting public feedback on the adoption of E20 fuel and a large-scale emission standards for this fuel. There is a plan to mix 20% ethanol in petrol under the E20 fuel. The 6th edition of the India International Science Festival coincided with the inaugural address by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. This time, it is being organized online due to the COVID pandemic. US President Donald Trump honored Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the prestigious Legion of Merit Award. Prime Minister Modi has been given this honor to lead to the increase in strategic cooperation between India and America. Economic Affairs Secretary Tarun Bajaj said that the government is considering all options to improve the situation in the banking sector of the country. It also includes the option of setting up a bad bank. Nehru Zoological Park has become the first zoo in India to receive ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management Standards certification. This certification has been given by the organization after being satisfied with standards maintenance. Let us take a look at the news in detail. E20 fuel. Recently, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has published a draft notification inviting public feedback on the adoption of E20 fuel and large-scale emission standards for this fuel. There is a plan to mix 20% ethanol in petrol under the E20 fuel. Under E20 fuel, 20% ethanol and gasoline will be used as automotive fuel. This will reduce the import of mineral oils, which will save foreign exchange reserves and promote energy conservation. Details of the percentage of ethanol and gasoline or in ethanol blended gasoline usable vehicles will be given by the manufacturer. A clearly visible sticker will be displayed on the vehicle in this regard. Currently, only 10% ethanol blending is allowed in India from the year 2019. What is E20 fuel? It is a fuel used in vehicles. E20 fuel is a mixture of 20% ethanol and gasoline. Thus, it is economically beneficial for India as well. Its biggest advantage is that it will reduce vehicular emissions and reduce pollution. This notification will facilitate the process of developing vehicles as per E20. Ethanol and gasoline. Ethanol is a volatile, flammable and colorless liquid. Ethanol is also used as an active ingredient of alcoholic beverages. Ethanol is also used as an antiseptic and disinfectant. Gasoline, also called petrol in common parlance, is a clear petroleum-derived flammable liquid. It is commonly used as a fuel. India International Science Festival 2020. Recently, the 6th edition of the India International Science Festival coincided with the inaugural address by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. This time it is being organized online due to the COVID pandemic. This is going to be the biggest science festival ever organized virtually. The nodal institute for organizing the Science Festival this year is CSIR's National Institute of Science, Technology and Development Studies, located in New Delhi. In the year 2015, it was decided that the International Science Festival should be held every year in the country in which everyone can participate and enjoy science. The theme of this year's festival is Science for Self-Reliant India and World Welfare, which will showcase the contribution of scientific and technological efforts to accomplish the goal of Self-Reliant India campaign. There will be 41 different events in this festival. This time, 13 new programs have been included in them and every section of the society will be tried to be enlightened through this festival. This year, IISF 2020 has been started on 22nd December 2020 on the occasion of the birthday of world-renowned Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan. About Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan. The great mathematician Srinivasa Ayanagar Ramanujan was born on December 22, 1887 in a Brahmin family in Erodu village, Coimbatore. Ramanujan's father's name was Srinivasa Ayanagar. Ramanujan is counted among the greatest mathematicians and thinkers of the modern world. Srinivasa Ramanujan's biography, The Man Who Knew Infinity, was published in 1991. In 2015, the film based on The Man Who Knew Infinity was released. America's highest honor, Legion of Merit. Recently, US President Donald Trump honored Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the prestigious Legion of Merit Award. India's ambassador to the US, Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, accepted the award on behalf of the Prime Minister. The award was given to him by the US National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien at the White House. PM Modi has been given this honor to lead to the increase in strategic cooperation between India and America. What is the Legion of Merit? The Legion of Merit Award was instituted by the US Congress on 20 July 1942. The Legion of Merit is the only military honor in the United States that holds separate positions and is the first such honor awarded to citizens of other countries. It is given for outstanding works, loyalty to truth, and loyalty to military or civilian places. These can be given to foreign officials of higher positions or advisors of foreign military. Who has received this award before? Before Prime Minister Modi, other members of the Quad, former Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Australia Scott Morrison, have also been given the Legion of Merit Award. Apart from them, many other world leaders and celebrities have been given it. Other Indians receiving this award: General Rajendra Singh Ji Jadeja, Indian Army 1946. Field Marshal Kodendra Madappa Kariyappa, Indian Army 1950. General Satyavant Mallana Sri Ganesh, Indian Army 1955. Admiral Jal Kursetji, Indian Navy 1978. General Bikram Singh, Chief of Army Staff, Indian Army 2013. General Dalbir Singh Suhag, Chief of Army Staff, Indian Army 2018. Why was this award given? The award was given to Prime Minister Modi for strengthening the strategic partnership between India and America under his leadership and advancing India as a global force. He was given this award for his outstanding leadership and vision, which has propelled India rapidly towards emerging as a global power and strengthened the strategic partnership between US and India to meet global challenges. Bad bank. Recently, Economic Affairs Secretary Tarun Bajaj said that the government is considering all options to improve the situation in the banking sector of the country. It also includes the option of setting up a bad bank. He said that the government has infused capital in public sector banks. Further, capital will be invested as per requirement. What is a bad bank? Under the bad bank, the banks transfer their liabilities to a new bank, which deals with buying and dealing with the amount of assets and assets trapped in the loan. The first idea to establish a bad bank in the world was given in 1988 in America. The first idea to establish a bank in India was given in the Economic Survey of 2017, and it was suggested to name it PARA, Public Sector Asset Rehabilitation Agency. The establishment of a bad bank will reduce the pressure on other banks to recover distressed debt. As a result, banks will be able to focus on disbursing new loans. It should be noted that in 2012, during the economic crisis, Spain had taken the help of such bad banks. Benefits of creating a bad bank. This will enable commercial banks to pay full attention to their core banking activity. Commercial banks will have lower NPAs, which will increase public confidence in them. The financial condition of commercial banks will improve, so that they will be able to give loans to other sectors as per the requirement. It can bargain better with borrowers and take more stringent enforcement and action against them. Instead of looking only at the government, bad banks themselves can raise money from institutional investors. ISO certification to Nehru Zoological Park. Recently, Nehru Zoological Park has become the first zoo in India to receive ISO 9001:2015 Quality Management Standards certification. The assessment of this certification was conducted by the HYM International Certificate, ASCB UK. This certification was presented to A. Indrakaran Reddy, Forest Minister of Telangana. This certification has been given by the organization after being satisfied with standards like hygiene, food processing, zoo hospital, animal care, animal breeding, hygiene and maintenance. Nehru Zoological Park. The Nehru Zoological Park in Hyderabad is also known as Hyderabad Zoo. Named after Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1963, the zoo is a major attraction of the city. Spread over 380 acres of land, the zoo is maintained by the Forest Department of the Government of Andhra Pradesh. The Forest Department mainly makes efforts to rehabilitate endangered species and create public awareness for protection and conservation of wildlife and research. Human Development Index. Recently, the Human Development Index has been released by the United Nations Development Programme. India has slipped one rank in this index. India has been ranked 131 in the list of 189 countries. The HDI value of India has been kept at 0.645 in this report. This number is considered as close as 1. In 2019, India was ranked 130th. It is a statistical tool used to measure a country's overall achievement in its social and economic dimensions. The social and economic dimensions of a country are based on the health of people, their level of educational attainment, and their standard of living. Performance of other countries. Norway tops in this index, followed by Ireland and Switzerland. Norway's HDI value is 0.957. The neighboring countries, Sri Lanka and China, are ahead of India. Pakistan has fallen 2 places from 152 last time. According to the Human Development Report, the life expectancy of Indians in the year 2019 was 69.7 years. It was 72.6 years in Bangladesh and 67.3 years in Pakistan. According to the report, Bhutan was ranked 129, Bangladesh ranked 133, Nepal ranked 142, and Pakistan ranked 154 in the index. Australia ranked 72nd, while the United States and Canada would rank 45 and 40th respectively, reflecting their adverse effects on natural resources. Niger is the lowest ranked country at 189th place in the low human development category, with a score of 0.394. Due to increasing financial security, ownership of land, the situation of women has shown improvement. Violence against women decreased and social prestige increased. But malnutrition is found mostly among the children of tribal community. Due to this, there is physical weakness in children and there is no physical growth according to age. According to the report, India's gross national income per capita in 2018, based on purchasing power parity, was $6,829, which fell to $6,681 in 2019. India ranked 5th in solar energy. India has decided to reduce carbon emissions by 30 to 35% by 2030 under the Paris Agreement. There has been rapid work in the field of solar energy in the country. 2.6 gigawatts of solar power was produced in April 2014, which has already increased to 30 gigawatts by July 2019. Thus, it has achieved the target of 20 gigawatt capacity 4 years ago. India ranks 5th on the list of countries that have achieved solar energy potential. What is the Human Development Index? The Human Development Index is an annual report released by the United Nations Development Programme. It is published on the basis of life expectancy, education, and income standards. It is a statistical tool for measuring overall achievements in a country's social and economic dimensions. The HDI report was first released in 1990. Since then, this report is being published every year. State of the Education Report for India 2020. Recently, the State of the Education Report for India 2020, Technical and Vocational Education and Training, has been launched virtually by UNESCO. The second edition of the State of Education Report focuses on technical and vocational education and training. According to the report, India has made considerable progress towards its goal of creating a skilled workforce of 110 million people by 2022. India is currently training 10 million youth annually. The report gives a set of 10 recommendations which should be adopted to help achieve the stated goal for TVET in the country. The 10 recommendations are: place learners and their aspirations at the center of vocational education and training programs. Create an appropriate ecosystem for teachers, trainers, and assessors. Focus on upskilling, reskilling, and lifelong learning. Ensure inclusive access to TVET for women, differently abled, and disadvantaged learners. Massively expand the digitalization of vocational education and training. Support local communities to generate livelihoods by engaging in the preservation of tangible and intangible cultural heritage. Align better with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Deploy innovative models and financing TVET. Expand evidence-based research for better planning and monitoring. Establish a robust coordinating mechanism for interministerial cooperation. About TVET. It refers to the study of technologies, acquisition of practical skills, knowledge, and knowledge related to business and various fields. TVET is important for promoting youth employment and entrepreneurship. It promotes equity and gender equality. It facilitates transition to sustainable societies and green economy. Human Freedom Index 2020. Recently, the Human Freedom Index 2020 has been released. India is ranked 111 out of 162 countries in this index. In 2019, India was ranked 94. It is a worldwide ranking related to civil, economic, and personal freedom. The performance of India. In this index, India is ahead of China and Bangladesh, which are ranked 129th and 139th respectively. India has ranked 110th in terms of personal freedom and 105th in economic freedom. India has scored 6.30 out of 10 in personal freedom and 6.56 in economic freedom. The overall human independence score of the country was 6.43. India's position has declined in several global independence indices. The world has seen a significant decline in personal freedom since 2008, according to the institutions that released this index. Performance of other countries. Pakistan is placed at 140th in this index. New Zealand is ranked first in the index, followed by Switzerland and Hong Kong. The lowest ranked countries are Venezuela, Sudan, and Syria. In this index, the United States and the United Kingdom are jointly ranked 17th. The report reveals a strong, positive relationship between freedom and prosperity. But at the same time, the report also explains the unequal distribution of freedom in the world. According to the report, since 2008, the gap between the countries with the most independence and the least independence has also increased. What is the Human Freedom Index? The index is published jointly by the American think tank Cato Institute and the Fraser Institute of Canada. In this index, countries are ranked between 0 to 10. 10 where the highest human freedom is displayed. The same 0 as the lowest human freedom. The Human Freedom Index presents the state of human freedom in the world and is measured on a wide range of personal, civil, and economic freedoms. This index uses 76 parameters in terms of personal and economic freedom. Investigation of whether or not there is a constitutional crisis in Andhra Pradesh. Recently, the Supreme Court stayed the order of the Andhra Pradesh High Court in which it had asked the YS Jagan Mohan Reddy government of the state whether the state of the constitutional system is disturbing in the state. The High Court, during the hearing of 14 habeas corpus petitions, said, on the next hearing date, the learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state may come prepared to assist the court as to whether, in the circumstances which are prevailing in the state of Andhra Pradesh, the court can record a finding that there is a constitutional breakdown in the state or not. The government of Andhra Pradesh challenged this order in the Supreme Court and said that it violates the principle of sharing of rights as Article 356 of the Constitution. Not the judiciary, but the President has the right to consider the question of failure of the constitutional machinery. It is not the High Court to investigate and recommend for President's rule in a state. Under Article 356 of the Constitution, provisions have been made regarding the failure of the constitutional system in a state. This power, the power to impose presidential rule, lies exclusively in the executive. About President's rule in India. Under Article 356 of the Constitution of India, the President of India, upon being resolved that a situation has arisen in the state in which the governance of the state cannot be carried out in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, to suspend the state government in the country, the power to impose President's rule of any state is provided. There is no Council of Ministers when President's rule is imposed. During this time, the Legislative Assembly is either adjourned or dissolved. The government of the state comes under the direct control of the central government, and the governor continues to the proceedings representing the President of India. The imposition of President's rule requires the approval of both houses of Parliament. President's rule in a state can remain in force for a period of 6 months after it is approved. President's rule can be imposed for a maximum period of 3 years and requires approval from both houses of the Parliament after every 6 months. India-Japan Dialogue Conference. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 6th India-Japan Dialogue Conference through video conferencing. During this conference, the Prime Minister also proposed the creation of a library for traditional Buddhist literature and scriptures. At the same time, stressing the need to keep humanity at the center of policies, PM Modi advocated coexistence with nature to be the mainstay. It is to be noted that the series of dialogue conferences between the two countries was started in the year 2015 with the objective of highlighting the shared values of humanism, democracy, freedom and non-violence. The future of Asia is based on the positive traditions of non-violence and democracy, mainly in the dialogue conference. The library will not only be a repository of literature, it will also be a platform for research and dialogue, a true dialogue between humans, between societies, and between humans and nature. The library will collect digital copies of all such Buddhist literature from different countries. The aim will be to translate and make them freely available to all monks and scholars of Buddhism. About India and Japan relations. Relations between India and Japan have always been strong and stable. The apparent influence of Indian-born Buddhism can be seen in the culture of Japan. Even during the independence struggle of India, the Imperial Army of Japan assisted the Azad Hind Fauj of Subhash Chandra Bose. Even after the independence of India, till now, there have been cordial relations between the two countries. At present, India-Japan bilateral trade is about $14 billion, which has been targeted to increase to $25 billion. In addition, Japan also has about $15 billion of foreign direct investment in India. Karnataka Land Reform Amendment Bill 2020. Karnataka State Legislative Council has recently passed the Land Reform Amendment Bill 2020. The 2020 Amendment Bill seeks to amend the Karnataka Land Reforms Act 1961. The 1961 Act prohibits the ownership of agricultural land in the state. The amendment removes 3 sections of the Act to allow ownership of farmland by non-farmers. In order to facilitate industrial development and ownership of agricultural land by non-farmers, the Land Reforms Act 1961 is being weakened by the state governments continuously. What are the recent amendments? The Karnataka Land Reforms Amendment Bill 2020 repealed the 3 main sections of the Karnataka Land Reforms Act 1961. All these are related to farm ownership. These are as follows. The amendments are made with Section 79A. This section allowed only those with an income of less than Rs 25 lakhs per year to buy agricultural land. Subsequently, the amendment has also abolished Section 79B. Only those who earn a living through agriculture can buy agricultural land. Also, Section 79C of the Act has also been removed. The section allowed the revenue departments to investigate alleged violations of Section 79A and Section 79B. Why were the amendments made? According to the state government, before this amendment, the farmers who wanted to sell their land were not getting the benefits of those sections. Through these sections, corruption was being encouraged by the land registrar and the tehsildars. According to a government source, 13,814 cases of violation of Sections 79A and B. Sentinelese tribe. Recently, in the policy documents of the Anthropological Survey of India, any commercial operation on the island of Sentinel wants the Sentinelese tribe to be threatened. The Sentinelese tribe is the most secluded tribal group inhabiting the island of Sentinel, which is specifically rated as a particularly vulnerable tribal group. These policy documents have been released nearly 2 years after the alleged assassination of American citizen John Ali Chow by Sentinelese tribe on the island. The policy document explicitly forbids any exploitation in the northern Sentinel Islands of Andaman. It has been said to create a knowledge bank on the Sentinelese tribe. Since spatial study of this tribe community is not possible, hence distance study of their culture has been suggested by anthropologists. Who is the Sentinel tribe? The Sentinelese are tribals in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They live in forests and arrange their food through hunting and trees. The Sentinelese tribesmen living in the North Sentinel Islands of Andaman and Nicobar are considered to be the last untouched tribes of Asia who have been living on this island for the last nearly 60,000 years. The area up to 5 kilometers from the highest water limit on the sea coast of Northern Sentinel Island has been notified as tribal reserve. It is illegal to make any contact with the people of this island. The people of this island also cannot be prosecuted. About particularly vulnerable tribal groups. The Ministry of Home Affairs has classified 75 tribal groups as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. The salient features of such a group include the practice of a primitive farming system, the practice of hunting and food collection, zero or negative population growth, extremely low levels of literacy compared to the other tribal groups, and the absence of a written language. It was created on the basis of the Dehbar Commission Report 1960. It said that there is considerable disparity in the growth rate even within the scheduled tribes. It is said that there is considerable disparity in the growth rate even within the scheduled tribes. The largest number of listed particularly vulnerable tribal groups in the country is found in Orissa, which is 13, followed by Andhra Pradesh, 12. 4 indigenous games included in Khelo India. Recently, the Sports Ministry has approved the inclusion of 4 indigenous games in Khelo India next year. There will also be events in Gatka, Kalaripayattu, Thangata, and Mallakhambh in these games to be held in Haryana. Sports Minister Mr. Kiren Rijiju said India has a rich heritage of indigenous sports, and preserving, promoting, and popularizing these sports is a priority of the Ministry of Sports. About the 4 selected games. The 4 selected games represent different parts of the country. Kalaripayattu, it has its origin in Kerala. There are people all over the world playing this game. Mallakhambh, it is popular all over the country, but it is more famous in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Gataka, this game belongs to Punjab and is a traditional fighting style of Nihang Sikh warriors. They use it as a game of self-defense as well. In addition, this step will boost the efforts of the National Gatka Association of India to create awareness in the country as well as abroad. Thangata, it is a martial arts form of Manipur, which has been disappearing during the last few decades. But with the help of Khelo India Youth Games 2021, it will once again get national recognition. According to Thangata Federation of India, more than 400 athletes from different states will participate in this competition. About the Khelo India program. It was started by the Union Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs to revive the sports culture in the country. Its objective is to promote all the sports played in the country and to prepare India as a strong sports nation. This program will give young players a chance to improve their skills and showcase their skills. Each selected player will be provided financial assistance of Rs 5 lakhs for 8 years. Shigella infection. Recently, 6 cases of Shigella infection were found in Kozhikode district of Kerala. After this, emergency meetings were called by health authorities and preventive measures have been initiated. What is the Shigella infection? Shigellosis or Shigella infection is a contagious intestinal disease. It is caused by a bacterial species called Shigella. This bacterium is one of the main microbes responsible for diarrheal disease, including symptoms of moderate to severe nature, especially in children from African and South Asian regions. Generally, children under 5 are most likely to get Shigella infection, but it can occur at any age. How is it diffused? This bacteria enters the body through ingestion of food, after which they attack the lining of the colon, resulting in inflammation in the cells and subsequently, in severe cases, destroying the cells. Only a small number of Shigella bacteria are enough to enter a person's body and make them ill. This bacterial infection spreads from person to person.